The next step is to add a length validation to the name. So let's make a test for that. Say the name should not be too long. And here we have to decide what the maximum length is. I think strings can hold 255 characters, but that's really long. We want shorter names so that we can fit them on our site layout. Like when we display names to the screen, I think 255 is too long. So I'm just going to pull a number out of thin air and say that 50 is going to be our upper bound. So let's make a user with a name of length 51 and then make sure it's not valid. Now this is kind of inconvenient to type out something that's exactly 51 characters long. So there's a trick I want to use, which is to use string multiplication. We have normal multiplications, like 3 times 2 is 6. But you can also multiply a string by an integer to make a string of that length. So this is a times, say, 5. You can see there, and so a times 51 is just a string of length 51. Do this. Actually, I think this will work. Should be 51. There we go. So let's just copy this and say the user's name is 51 A's long. It has length 51, and we want to say that that's not valid. And save that. It should be red. There we go. And now let's put the validation in. We're just going to add to the presence validation. We're going to say length. So this thing, by the way, this validates is just a method. I'll change it up in just a sec. I'll show you how it works. So this is length. Maximum is 50. So what's going on here is this validates is just a method, and its first argument is which attribute is being validated, and then this is a hash here. So we can actually just put these on to show you how it works. So it's still green, but idiomatically you would never do this. The reason we need this interior one is because otherwise it's ambiguous where the hash ends. So if we just did something like this, it probably gives me some sort of error message. Yeah. All right, so this is a syntax error, which is why we need to put in, the curly braces here. All right, there we go. You know, it just occurred to me that we should probably put a length validation on this email attribute as well, because we'll be validating the format, but that's not going to constrain the length. And because it's a string, I think it can't be any longer than 255 characters. So let's do that. And actually, let's do this with TDD. So let's comment this out. It should be green. And email should not be too long. And do 256 here. Should be red. There we go. And uncomment this over here. Should be green. Great.